This video is the fourth part of our discussion on plotting equations with TestDriller chatbot. So I want to continue talking about special functions. So how do you plot something like log? So let's say you have something like y equals to log x, for instance. So how do you plot something like this? So it's very straightforward. You just type it as exactly like this, log into bracket x. But the assumption is that the base is base e. That is, if you don't specify the base, the TestDriller chatbot, we assume that we are dealing with base e, where this e is the Euler's constant. The Euler's constant is roughly 2.718. So that is the assumption that the chatbot is going to use. But if you want to explicitly set the base, you will need to specify it as follows. After writing the log of the value, you need to include underscore the base. So underscore, then you specify the base. So in this case, 10, right? So I want to be in base 10. So what I mean by that is this. So let's say I want something like base log x to base 10. So this is how I'm going to type it. I'll type the log x, then underscore 10. So if I also want to be in base 2, the same thing, I'll just replace the 10 with 2. So this is how you specify, this is how you type the equation in TestDriller chatbot. So now what about exponential? So let's say you want something like y equals to e raised to the power of x, where this e is the Euler's constant. So you type it as follows. You type it as exp, exponent, short form of exponent, or short form of Euler's constant, then x. So this is how you specify this. So we've talked about the log, we've talked about the Euler's constant. Now let's talk about another aspect, which is the square root. So let's say I want to take the square root of x. We want to plot the square root of x. This is the square root of x. So how do you type it in the bot? So you type it as sqr and then x, right? Then what about cube root? Something like this. What about cube root of x? You type it as sqr3, right, of x. So this is how you type square root and cube root. So we are going to go through some examples. Then there's one more thing I need to mention. What about pi? So let's say you want to specify pi. So let's say you want to specify something like pi root x, right? So pi, there's a special constant for pi in the board, which is pi. Then you just say times square root of x. So this is how you can specify this equation. So pi represents pi, and the rest is square root of x. So let's go through some examples here. So this is the TestDriller UTME app. So what I'm going to do is you are going to click on the icon, the chat icon, then you click on solve math problems. Then you want to select graph equations, then send. So let's go over some of these examples we mentioned. So let's say I want to plot log, let's say I want to say 3 times log x. Just say 3 log brackets x, right? Then the next thing I want to do is to specify the range. Just say from, let's say we want to plot from 2 to, let's say we want to get to somewhere around 100. So this is what you're going to get as an outcome. So this is a plot of 3 times log x. And note that this is in base e. What of if you want to make the base to be base 10 or base 2? So let's say I want the base to be in base 2. So that's straightforward. So what I'm going to do is I'll just include something here. After this, then I'll just include underscore. Let's say this is underscore 2 to indicate that you want to be in base 2. So now you click on this, and this gives you the result in base 2. So you see that the result is different from the result of base E. It's slightly different. So this is how you go about plotting this.